talking with Kamie Crawford. She's going to be the new co-host of Catfish. It airs Wednesdays at 8 on MTV. Kamie, I've got to ask, what's it like being on the show that has been so popular for so long?
Honestly, it's a dream come true. I have been a fan of the show since the documentary came out in 2010. I was like, this is the most insane thing I've ever seen, and I've pretty much seen every single episode, leading up till now. So it's amazing. It's incredible to be a part of something that's been so long-standing, but also just like right up my alley with, helping people, but also giving them, some tough love sometimes.
Sure, and that's got to be cool, too, being part of something that you've, I don't want to say grown up, but you've watched for so many years, has been part of what you've enjoyed as well. That's got to be pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I've been, millennial, raised on the internet, basically. So I, definitely had my fair share of internet experiences. But I think when Catfish came out, it was so shocking because, I grew up going into chat rooms and doing all the fun stuff before we knew anything about like internet security or being safe online. And,
right.
It's crazy to think that people are, lying and catfishing and doing what they're doing online.
Yeah, we grew up on AOL Instant Messenger, put up that away message. I get that.
Yeah. Oh, my God. I miss that so much.
Have you ever been catfished?
I haven't been catfished in a romantic way. I did have a former friend, who lied to me about her whole entire life. And, that was traumatizing enough for me to, I think, have my guard up for a lot of things now, but I have had my photos used to catfish people, which is, a whole other thing.
What would you say, because I know you guys are doing this season remotely because of the pandemic, do you think there's a big challenge or is it more challenging doing this remotely? And if so, what do you think those challenges are?
It definitely has its fair share of, technical challenges just because we're all working from home and, using technology, which, it has its ways of failing on you plenty of times throughout the day. But, the premiere just aired on this past Wednesday, and that was actually filmed back in March. So this was before any kind of quarantine television was, out there for us to be able to see. So we kind of had to fly by the seat of our pants, basically, and pioneer this kind of way of communicating and filming, which it was so much fun, obviously, but, we had to work out the different kinks and stuff. And now every episode moving forward, I think that one was pretty seamless, but every episode moving forward will move, in a different kind of way that's just as exciting, I think, as the in-person episodes.
So you were a guest co-host before you were officially named the new co-host. Did you feel a lot of pressure when you were filling in? Did you think, okay, this is my chance, this is my shot to make my case or my working application here or working test? What was going through your mind during that time?
It's weird because I've been working as a host for, a while now. I think it's been like 8 years. And this is the first time that I've worked a job that never felt like work. So it just felt very natural to me. And, of course I wanted the full-time position, but I'm a firm believer of like what's for me will never miss me. So I just, have to keep doing my thing and, just being myself. And I think that's what got me the job, for better or for worse.
For sure. Do you feel like you have like a good working chemistry with
me?
Is that something that was really important?
Yeah. I mean, we pretty much hit it off, I think, as soon as we filmed the first episode that we ever did together, which was almost 2 years ago now. There's a lot of downtime. So everyone sees like the 45 minutes of the actual episode, but there's a lot of downtime. There's a lot of us, taking these drives in these remote areas for 3 hours sometimes in the car and, not filming. And, you have to build a friendship, which is what we have now. And it's really fun, especially because, I grew up watching him on TV when I was a teenager and like early adult. So, he's like, I'm a fan. I'm definitely a fan.
So what would you say is maybe the most ridiculous, like head-scratching, shake your head, just dumbfounded feeling that you've had? Like, is there just one particular case that sticks out that you're just like, clearly you're being catfished? Like, what is wrong with you?
Oh, God. It has to be the second episode that I ever filmed when I was still a guest. We had this young lady who was, so sweet, but she thought that she was talking to Chris Brown for like 3 years or something. And he was like, I've heard his voice. He's left me voicemails. I know it's him. And I listened to the voicemail. I'm like, girl, there's no way. There's no possible way. There's a negative 5,000% chance that this is Chris Brown. But, I think that sometimes for a lot of people, having someone to talk to is better than having no one. And, sometimes you ignore the red flags when there are very clear ones in your path.
I was really hoping you were going to bring up that episode because I was watching some of it, and I think my favorite part is when you're like, that's either a teenage boy or a 20-year-old woman. It was so funny.
Yes. Yeah, and it ended up being that. It ended up being a 20-something-year-old girl, who was curious about her sexuality and, had a lot of other things going on, and that's all well and good, but I think the best possible advice is just to be yourself and put yourself forward and let people deal with that first. Someone's going to fall in love with you as you are.
Yeah, absolutely. So last question, what would be maybe some advice that you would give to someone who thinks they're potentially being catfished?
Well, if you see the red flags, it's probably because there are red flags. So don't ignore them for sure. And don't let people just kind of like lead you on. I think that one of the biggest things that I've seen that always gets me going is when people are sending money to people that they've never met before.
Yeah.
I think that there are better ways to use that money. Donate it to a charity or something. You don't need to donate your money to someone who can't even donate their time to getting on FaceTime with you, And I think that that's one of the big things. Save your money. Just save your money.
Save your money.
Please.
I mean, that's good advice for anybody, whether you're being catfished or not. Save it. Don't send it to strangers.
Yeah, exactly.